Mic check, it's time for In the Trenches. Bucs battles, tales from the benches. No fluff, straight edge defenses. Buccaneer talk, breaking down the fences. Stay tuned, the orgasms in your dome. Talk straight from tent, but call it home. Learn from the vets in there.
Hello everybody and welcome back to In the Trenches. My name is Ian Beckles and we're here to celebrate another big Buccaneer victory. Buccaneers are 2-0. To go to Detroit and beat that football team any time of the year is a big deal. Okay, Detroit's a solid football team, up and down. I want to talk about as an organization. I'm talking about head coaching, offense, defense, special teams, the whole 9 yards. That's a good football team. So we beat a good football team in their house yesterday. Once again, the name of this podcast, In the Trenches. The ironic part is, I say it's in the trenches because that's where you win games. I'm not sure if the Bucs won the game in the trenches, and that's odd. That's an anomaly. Normally, if you win the game in the trenches, you win the game. We didn't beat Detroit in the trenches yesterday. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson going against Schooley or School or Skule, whoever the hell that right tackle is. Gadecki's hard to pronounce, but he's a better blocker. So let's hope that Luke Gadecki comes back here soon, and we have a right tackle. But without a right tackle, School or Schooley against Aiden Hutchinson is not a good matchup, obviously. Aiden Hutchinson ends up with 4.5 sacks. Now, I hear people on sports radio, some people are blaming Liam Cohen for his game plan. Let's get this straight, people. If you have a fiend out there on the defensive side of the ball, there's only so many things you can do. There's 5 offensive linemen and 1 running back. There's only so many things you could do to try to eliminate a great rusher. You can slide to him, but if they blitz, then the double team is gone. Or you can send them back to him, or leave a tight end and chip. They did all of those things, and none of them worked against Aiden Hutchinson, who had 3 sacks in the first quarter. I've given up 3 sacks in a game, but I don't remember ever seeing 3 sacks in the first quarter. That's a little bit much. So the Buccaneers did not win that game in the trenches yesterday, ironically. I think they were outgained 250 yards. Looking statistically, the Lions had 26 first downs, the Buccaneers had 14. Third downs, the Bucs were 2 of 10, and the Lions were 7 of 17. So if you look at the box score, you wouldn't think the Buccaneers won this game. Now, as somebody who watched the game, if you had asked me before the game if the Bucs were going to win, I wouldn't have bet my house that the Bucs win this football game. Although I put money on the Bucs because they were getting 7.5 points. 7.5 points and the Bucs right now, I don't know why anybody wouldn't take that. Because of the Bucs defense. And that's why the Bucs won yesterday. They definitely had the bend don't break mentality. In between the 20s, at times we're giving up the booty. But once we got to that red zone, the Buccaneers were doing some good things defensively to obviously keep Goff out of that end zone. They got a lot of weapons over there, guys. They got weapons out of the backfield. They got great receivers. Laporta, I didn't hear Laporta's name till the fourth quarter. So defensively, this Buccaneer team was amazing. You give up 0 touchdowns on the road against a good football team. That's a beautiful thing to watch. The Bucs 4 straight years are 2-0. It's easier to make the playoffs when you start 2-0. That's for sure. It kind of gives you some leeway to lose a couple later on, but on the pace that they're at right now, they look wonderful. But if you look at their schedule looking forward, and I'm not a big schedule gawker, they got the Broncos, and after that, it gets evil, all right? It gets evil. When you're talking about the San Franciscos and the teams you'd be lucky the Ravens are in there. You'd be lucky to win 1 out of 3 when it gets to a point. So the Buccaneers need to figure out ways to amass wins right now, and they're getting that done. Now, let's start off with the defense. We need to get a better pass rush, okay? We won a game yesterday. A team, you gave up 463 yards offense. That's a lot of offense to only give up, 16 points. That's a lot of offense. So we got to get a better pass rush, all right? We need to get a better pass rush everywhere. Does it help that Kalijah Cansey's out? It absolutely does not help. Does it help that Vita Vea is probably out now? That doesn't help anything. Vita Vea not being in there doesn't help the run game, doesn't help the pass game. It doesn't help the scheme of this defense. Warren Sapp, when Vita Vea was drafted, I said, I think that's a good pick. And Warren Sapp said to me, he'll never stay healthy in Florida. And I didn't know why he said it, but I'll be damned if he ain't right. Vita Vea hasn't played 16 games one time in his career yet. So the Buccaneers got to start their life without Vita for this year anyways and see how that goes. Now, you go into the game without Luke Gedeke, your right tackle, without Kalijah Kancey, maybe your best pass rusher. That's tough sledding to begin with. People stood up. Zion McCollum, I mean, he had 2 picks, could have been 3. If it was your boy Amon-Ra, I mean, it would have been 3. So Zion it was amazing what he was doing, and they had a lot of pressure on him. I like our defensive backfield in general, as far as the Buccaneers go. Baker Mayfield offensively, we didn't score a lot of points, we didn't get a lot of first downs, but Baker Mayfield does some magical stuff. I don't care if you're a Baker Mayfield fan, and I should be the perfect guy. I wasn't a Baker Mayfield fan before he got here, but now you're a Buccaneer fan, and you're watching what Baker Mayfield's done in a year and a couple of games. Baker Mayfield does some magical stuff to make everybody around him look better, okay? If you don't see that as a Buccaneer fan, you're crazy. At this moment, I don't know if the Buccaneers are in better hands with anybody at quarterback, and that has to do with leadership as well. I still want to see Baker. I don't want to see Baker take licks. If we're looking around the league, there's too many quarterbacks getting hit, and there's too many people going down in general. Now, Liam Cohen, I think we're seeing his route tree a little bit more now. It's impressive at times, but then yesterday when I saw the one interception, there was 2 receivers in the same vicinity, which led to Baker's interception. So I would probably think that's an error by one of those wide receivers. But I'm starting to see Liam Cohen, scheme guys open a little bit. If it wasn't for Chris Godwin yesterday, there wouldn't have been a whole lot of offense passing the ball at all. I made the prediction that Chris Godwin's going to have a big year. Boy, he was the go-to guy yesterday. You heard a little bit of Mike Evans, but it was predominantly Chris Godwin, which I saw happening. Chris Godwin in the slot, 7 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. You got to feel good about. You got to feel good about all that. Now, Dan Campbell, who I just like, I think I'd like to have played for Dan Campbell. He's kind of an old school guy. You got to have some big nuts to call a fake field goal or fake punt on the 19-yard line. On the 19-yard line, you call the fake punt. Now, it worked. Now, they didn't end up getting any points out of that. Boy, that's a big chance to take on the 19-yard line. Okay, you get it. Now you're on the 25-yard line at the first down. It still doesn't mean you're going to score any points. So that's not really the chance I would be taking if I was him. Now, looking at this Buccaneer team who is 2-0 now, some teams like to talk about the future. The present looks good for the Buccaneers, although if they don't start getting some people back, they're going to start amassing some losses. I'm just telling you. With the Antoine Winfield Jr.'s and the Vita Veas and Gedekis, we need to get some of these guys back when we start playing these teams going down the way. But I'm starting to see some other names surface. Savasier Dennis, who's a backup linebacker, and I'm using my air quotes, who plays as much as a starter for me and plays as well as a starter. KJ Britt, who is our spiritual leader, don't be shocked if you start seeing more Savasier Dennis, because that kid can play. That kid can play. As much as I like to dog out JTS, and he made a couple plays yesterday, but the majority of his game is about the same, which is passive, which I'm not a big fan of. Savasier Dennis, I can't say none of that about Savasier Dennis. That kid comes downhill, and that kid plays with aggression. I love it. I love it. So defensively, Jordan Whitehead, I believe he had 11 tackles yesterday. We get the picks, and we need to get more sacks. We need to hit the quarterback more. But it's really hard for me to complain about anything after beating the Lions in their house. Not many people were picking the Buccaneers yesterday, especially being slightly shorthanded. But when it's all said and done, the Buccaneers get it done. They're 2-0. They got the Broncos next. The Broncos don't look like nothing. So there's a good chance that this Buccaneer team goes 3-0 and will earn the driver's seat. Now, don't look too close, but them Saints look pretty good. They actually eviscerated those Dallas Cowboys. And all you Dallas Cowboy fans, you guys are funny. Because y'all thought you was great after that first game, telling me how good your defense was. Not so great yesterday. It's about consistency. That's how you win. Speaking of winning, Chamberlain Storm are now 3-1, won yesterday, and not yesterday, on Friday. So we're feeling good about ourselves. By the way, the Chamberlain team hasn't won a game in 2 years, by the way. So Chad Wood, who is a coach, head coach now, myself, and all the other coaches are doing a wonderful job, and I want to applaud my team for getting it done. Also, I want to say one love to Jack Gordon and Manny and Gordon. They're our title sponsor, and they know their stuff. And Jack Gordon's our guy, and real soon here, you're going to find out about that dignitary linking up with Manny and Gordon and going after a certain entity that I'm sure y'all have heard of before. Anyways, if you guys love football like we do, we had a nice crowd here at the Dignitary Cafe on Sunday. My boy Heavy Lyrics was here with Chris Streets, and Dr. Barbecue was here hanging out. Jay Retcher, he had some other dignitaries. Greg Wolf, the voice of the Buccaneers. So if you're looking for somewhere to watch the football game on a 10x6, that's feet, screen, come hang out at Dignitary Cafe in the back, and we're 420 friendly. Drink some White Rabbits, or drink the best kratom in the country. That's at Dignitary Cafe. So Bucs are 2-0. We're all rejoicing, and we'll be back again next Monday. Hopefully another victory Monday. Hopefully the Bucs are 3-0, and we're feeling good about ourselves. Everybody enjoy the week, and please be safe. Peace out.
Talk straight from tech, but call it home. Learn from the vets, been there, done that. Breaking down the game, facts on facts. Flavor in your ear,